In 1940, Subhas Chandra Bose was one of the most monitored men in the world. The British colonial government considered him so highly dangerous to their grip on India that they confined him to his Calcutta home under strict house arrest. The surveillance was absolute. A police watch was stationed directly outside the gates of Netaji Subhas, keeping a constant, unblinking eye on the entrance through the day and the dead of night. Given the density of guards and proximity of the police station, a physical breakout was considered impossible. Any attempt to flee on foot or by force would have been intercepted before he reached the end of the block. Bose realized that the only path to freedom lay in a psychological maneuver. If the guards could not be overpowered, they would have to be tricked into watching a ghost while the man himself disappeared. The plan relied on his nephew, Sisir. To establish a routine that would not alarm the guards, Sisir began visiting daily under the guise of caring for his ailing uncle. Creating a predictable pattern, the police eventually stopped scrutinizing. Once the door was shut, the two focused on intelligence. They spent hours operating a radio, tuning into foreign broadcasts to track the movements of global powers and find a gap in the British defenses. They selected Sisir's German Wanderer for the journey. It was a machine built for endurance, chosen specifically because it could handle the long, punishing roads out of Bengal without breaking down. They decided to exit in a completely natural fashion, driving the Wanderer straight through the main gate at a normal pace, rather than attempting to sneak out the back. This strategy relied on the fact that rigid security is often least prepared for the obvious. By acting as though they had nothing to hide, they intended to pass right under the noses of their captors. On a moonless night in January, while the rest of the city slept, the window of opportunity finally opened. Subhas and Sisir moved through the house in total silence, tiptoeing down the back stairs to reach the car without a single floorboard creaking. To maintain the illusion of his presence, Bose left the light in his bedroom glowing. As the guards watched that illuminated window, the Wanderer rolled into the dark. By the time they realized it was empty, Bose was miles away. This exit succeeded because it prioritized the manipulation of the guards' assumptions over raw speed or physical concealment. The first major hurdle was crossing the Howrah Bridge. Passing over these massive steel girders signaled their exit from the immediate reach of Calcutta police. As they drove through the darkness toward Dhanbad, there was a brief, quiet moment of normalcy. Bose poured coffee from a thermos for Sisir to keep him focused on the road ahead. That calm shattered when the Wanderer's engine suddenly faltered. The car shuddered and began to lose power in the middle of the empty, dark highway. After several agonizing seconds of silence, the engine roared back to life. Sisir didn't hesitate. He pushed the car to its limit to make up for the lost time and reach their destination before sunrise. The mechanical failure was a reminder that even the most calculated plans remain subject to the unpredictable nature of the physical world. They arrived in Barari at 8:30 a.m., seeking refuge at the home of Sisir's brother, Ashok. Here, the final phase of the transformation began. Bose discarded his recognizable clothes for baggy trousers and a fez, physically obscuring the features that were plastered on police wanted posters across the country. He took on the identity of Muhammad Ziauddin, a traveling insurance agent. This persona was his shield for the next leg of the journey. Adopting such an uninteresting, middle-class profession allowed him to blend into the crowds at railway stations. To the British authorities, a traveling salesman was beneath suspicion. Sisir drove his uncle to Gomoh station for the final departure. They moved through the moonlit shadows of the platform, passing a sleepy porter who didn't give the insurance agent a second glance. At the edge of the platform, Bose turned to the nephew who had risked everything. His final words were short. "I am off, you go back." Sisir watched as the man with the majestic gait walked over the railway bridge. He watched until the figure was swallowed by the darkness of the far platform. When the Delhi-Kalka Mail pulled out of the station, the rhythmic clatter of the wheels marked the end of Bose's life in India and the beginning of his international campaign for independence. This single night of deception provided the window Bose needed to reach Germany and Japan, where he would eventually organize the Indian National Army. To explore more pivotal moments in history,